What is up, ladies and gentlemen? But most of all, you ladies out there, thanks for clicking on another episode of Break the Silence. I am your host, Cyborg. Grizzlies Pelicans. Let's talk about it. Split cow! Wow, what another incredible night of hoops between the Memphis Grizzlies and the New Orleans Pelicans. My two favorite teams to watch in the NBA. They're both young, they're both talented, they're both feisty, they both trash talk. They got everything you want in a basketball team, and both of these teams are must-watch TV to me. We're going to talk about this game because it was very interesting, even though we were missing stars on both sides. We got the return of Jaren Jackson. Ja played like a superstar. CJ McCollum on the other side played like a star and was just incredible basketball to watch. We're going to start real quick. T's and P's, thoughts and prayers, moment of silence for Cade Cunningham. It's being reported that last year, his signing bonus with BlockFi, he put 100% of that into Bitcoin, and now that company is bankrupt. Poor Cade Cunningham. I am on Cade Cunningham's side here. I also have lost a lot of money to Bitcoin. Obviously not millions, more like hundreds. But, you know, it hurts. It hurts. That's the world we live in. We'll see if we can turn it around. But let's talk about tonight's game. First, please take a second to like and subscribe to the channel. You see we're up over 500 subscribers. We're going to keep grinding, keep growing. Appreciate y'all. So please, if you would, hit that little button. Help a brother out. So let's talk about the game tonight. Obviously, on one side, the Memphis Grizzlies, we're missing Zion Williamson for the New Orleans Pelicans. Zion this year is averaging 23.5 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. Now, this is a common theme we've seen with the Pelicans, and part of the reason why their record isn't as good as we would hope it would be, or what maybe they're potentially able to do. It's because Zion has now missed 3 games. Brandon Ingram has missed 4 games. Herb Jones has missed 4 games. So 3 of their starters have missed significant time. When you're talking about this only being the 14th game of the season, all those players have missed almost a third of the season. So pretty significant injuries for the Pelicans as far as missing time. We just hope that this team can stay healthy, because when they can stay healthy, they play like they did tonight. And it's an incredible product to watch. The Grizzlies, obviously, on the other hand, one of the most underrated players in the entire NBA, are missing Desmond Bane. If you haven't watched Desmond Bane or aren't familiar with Desmond Bane, he is the shooting guard for the Memphis Grizzlies. This year, he is averaging 25 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 45% from the three-point line. So you're talking about potentially the best backcourt in the NBA. Now, that's a little up for debate. You have the one in Cleveland with Garland and Mitchell. You have the one in Atlanta with Trey and DeJounte Murray. But thus far this year, it's playing as one of the best backcourts in the NBA between Desmond Bane and Ja Morant. Desmond Bane will probably be an all-star this year. I love his game, love his physicality. He's a great defender. He's a great shooter. And he's really taken a step forward this year in the playmaking department. And this Grizzlies team's legit. So Jaren Jackson returned tonight. It was his first game back from injury. He missed a lot, missed the first, 14 games of the season here. And tonight, a lot of good, a lot of bad from Jaren Jackson. Kind of played exactly how we know Jaren Jackson to. Defensively, he is incredible. He had 5 blocks and only played 25 minutes. We see this time and time again from Jaren Jackson, who's an absolute stud on the defensive end of the court. That's why we've seen a little bit of struggles defensively for the Grizzlies so far. Right now, the Grizzlies are 20th in the league in defensive rating. So once you bring Jaren Jackson back in, you imagine that that'll rise. They have some pretty good defenders on the court. So with the health of them, that number will start to improve. That'll help the Grizzlies tremendously. And then on the offensive side of the court, Jaren Jackson did struggle tonight. He was 0 of 7 from 3, 3 of 14 from the field. Let him get his legs back a little bit offensively. Sometimes your shot's off in the first few games of the year. Not too concerned about that, but was it nice to see him back out there and playing like a stud defensively. Ja Morant is probably my favorite player to watch in the NBA. Night and night again. He plays hard every single possession. He just keeps coming at you and coming at you and coming at you. He is relentless with his pressure. He is relentless with his just attacking the basket. He's almost impossible to stop because he's so athletic, he's so fast, he's so shifty, he's so creative. I love the way that he finishes near the basket. He's smart, doesn't take a crazy amount of threes. He knows he's not great at them. Tonight he was 2 of 6. But tonight he had 36 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Ja Morant is just must-watch TV because when he's in the game, they were actually a +5 when Ja was in the game. The minutes he was out of the game are when they really struggled with Tyus Jones off the bench, and players like that. When they bring back Desmond Bane, I don't know if they'll start Brooks or bring Conchar off the bench, but they have the opportunity to add a little more depth, which would have helped them tonight, obviously. But Memphis Grizzlies love the way they've started the season. With this loss, I think that drops them to the 5 seed in the Western Conference right now. Not too concerned, like I said. Jaren Jackson's been out. You're bringing him back. Ja Morant is playing like an MVP so far. With tonight's game, he's going to be right at around 30 points per game, averaging 7 assists before tonight's game. So you're talking about a guy who, if this team gets to their potential as the 2-3 seed in the Western Conference, will be right there in those MVP talks at the end of the season. We hope Ja Morant stays healthy. That's the thing you worry when you watch Ja. He's like that old Derrick Rose where it's like, should a human be this explosive? Should he be able to bounce like this, especially at Ja's kind of undersized? You worry about him rolling an ankle, hurting his knee. Let's hope that Ja Morant stays healthy because what a basketball player. What a treat and a pleasure to watch. But let's move on to the team that actually won this game, the New Orleans Pelicans, because this was an incredible performance from them. They shot the lights out from the three-point line. The Pelicans, so far this season, are 9th offensively in offensive rating and 11th in defensive rating. So you're talking about a team that's been right there on the echelon of being a very, very good basketball team. But like I talked about earlier, they just have guys missing a lot of games so far. So that's the thing that's so important with this Pelicans roster, because Zion, we know, is he misses game. He's going to miss some games. He's just so explosive, so big. He's going to miss some games this season. You just hope that other guys can stay healthy, can pick up the slack like they did tonight. Brandon Ingram didn't play his best basketball game tonight. He actually only took 14 shots. Now, I love Brandon Ingram. I think he's a fantastic basketball player. In fact, I keep losing money in FanDuel because I keep putting Brandon Ingram in every one of my lineups. Now, common theme with this video so far, I've lost money on Bitcoin. I lose money in FanDuel. I just seem to be dishing out money. So if any of you are needing some cash, I guess you know where to find it. You could take advantage of me in some way. Pause. But CJ McCollum played incredible basketball tonight. CJ McCollum had 30 points. He hit 7 threes. For the game, they were 18 of 38, which is 47% from the three-point line. And they only had 10 turnovers, which is a pretty low number. They played good offensively, defensively, and I really love this lineup. Now, there's a player there that really popped to me. In the first half, Trey Murphy. He is a sniper from the three-point line, and he looks crazy athletic. He looks long. Looks like he could be a really good defender. Let me pull this up real quick. Trey Murphy for the year is averaging 11.5 points, and from the three-point line is shooting 40%. So you're talking about a guy who's a great shooter. I really like the development of him so far, especially from last season. Herb Jones, I really like on the defensive end of the court, and as he develops his offensive game, he's a good 3-and-D player. I love Herb Jones. This lineup, when healthy, to me is one of the deepest lineups in the entire NBA because they have guys like CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, Jonas Valanciunas, Trey Murphy. Larry Nance played out of his mind tonight. He had 19 points, 2 blocks, 7 rebounds. Devontae Graham, I always liked. He's not playing much. Jose Alvarado, really feisty defender, played pretty well offensively tonight too. Dyson Daniels, the rookie, flashed at a couple points. Had some nice rebounds, finished with 9 rebounds. I like the way that he came in and brought energy for this Pelican squad. Both of these teams that we watched tonight, both have the potential to be second, third round of the playoffs kind of teams. And from there, you're a championship contender. The important thing about all these teams is health. When you're talking about Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, being healthy at the right time, getting in a rhythm going into the playoffs. Seeding matters, who you play in the first round. The Memphis Grizzlies got some valuable playoff experience last year, and then Ja got hurt in the second round. Now, would they have beat the Warriors? Probably not, but they would have been able to compete in that. This year, I think the Pelicans have a roster to where they could really, really compete in the Western Conference. And let me pull this up here. The most important thing to remember about the West right now, there is no clear favorite. There's no clear favorite because I can make an argument against every team I've seen so far in the Western Conference. Have we fully bought in on the Portland Trail Blazers or Utah Jazz? Now, the Trail Blazers with Dame and Jeremy Grant playing excellent basketball. But do we think that they're clear-cut favorites to win the West? I do not. Denver Nuggets I really like as a team. Memphis, the Phoenix Suns are kind of reeling a little bit. Dallas has some issues as far as outside of Luka. He kind of seems to be their whole offense. And then you're looking at the Grizzlies Pelicans there to round out the top 7 teams in the conference. That is wide open to me. So if you're able to get in a rhythm, if you're able to develop, maybe make one move at the trade deadline, stay healthy, both of these teams are going to be right there at the end of the season. And that's what's so exciting. They're so fun to watch, and they have so much young talent that for years to come, you're going to see these teams competing in the playoffs. You're going to see them competing in the regular season. You're going to see them competing for championships, I hope. And the last interesting point, the Pelicans own the Los Angeles Lakers' first-round pick this year, which with how the Lakers are playing so far, very well could end up being the first or second pick. You could end up with a guy like Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson on the Pelicans. If they got one of those guys, look out. This team will be a championship favorite for years if they're able to land a first or second pick in this upcoming draft. But very entertaining basketball game to watch. Appreciate y'all watching the video. Don't forget to hit that little button to subscribe. Cyborg out.